Hello everyone, we've got question 7 on paper 1 from 2023, and this is a nice functions question. So it says the function f is defined by f of x is equal to 3 plus root of x minus 2, where x is a member of the set of all real numbers and it's greater than 2. State the range of f. So I think a good way that occurred to me to do this is to think about root x and work our way up from there. So root x looks like this. And then root x minus 2 is a translation by vector to 0 parallel to the x-axis. So that's going to move the curve 2 to the right like that. Okay, so it goes 2 in that direction. So that's our root x minus 2. Then we've got to add 3, which is going to translate the whole curve by vector 0, 3. So having moved to the right by 2, it then moves up by 3. So there we go. So our range, remember, that's the y values that are coming out. So our range is going to be that f of x is going to be greater than 3 for part A. Part B, it says the function g is defined by g of x is equal to 15 over x minus 3. Find out what f of g of 6 is. So f of g of 6. Now, whereabouts have I done f of g of 6? Let's have a look at this. Oh, here we go. There we go. So, actually, sorry, part B, first of all, is find the inverse. I thought I was getting confused. Part B, we've got to find the inverse first. Okay. So, part C is coming after part B. So, find the inverse. So, again, there's different ways that teachers teach this. My preferred method is to replace the f of x with y, and I like to swap over the x and y at the start and then rearrange it to make y the subject. But it really doesn't matter if you've been taught a different way. So I swap over my x and y, which means anywhere there's a y, it becomes an x. Anywhere there's an x, it becomes a y. Okay? And then I'm going to rearrange it to make the whole thing say y equals something in the end. So step 1, I'm going to take the 3 away from both sides. I'm then going to square both sides, so x minus 3 all squared is y minus 2. And then finally I'm going to add 2. So I end up with my y is x minus 3 all squared add 2. And then the last step is we replace that with the notation for the inverse. Now, it's really worth pointing out here that actually there is a mark for specifying the domain of the inverse function. They don't ask for it and they don't make it clear that that's the case, and they never do in these questions usually, but there is a mark for stating the domain, so do remember that, okay? And remember that when you've got an inverse function, the domain and range have swapped over. Okay, so the range of f of x is going to be the domain of the inverse. So therefore the domain of our inverse is x is greater than 3. Okay, now we're ready for part C. Okay, part C, it says g of x is defined by 15 over x minus 3. Find out g of f of 6. So g of f of 6 is going to be, I've written down g, and in here I've put f of x, but the x has been replaced by 6. So this is g of f of 6 there. So when the x is replaced by 6, we have 6 minus 2 is 4, root 4 is 2, 2 add 3 is 5, so therefore we've got to work out g of 5. So g of 5 is going to be 15 over 5, because x is 5, minus 3. So, and 5 minus 3 is 2, so 15 over 2. Or you could write 7.5, whichever you prefer. Okay, so that's part C done. Now part D, find the exact value of the constant a for which f of a squared add 2 is equal to g of a. So let's think about that. So f of a squared add 2 equals g of a. So we've written down, I've written down f of x, but the x has been replaced by a squared add 2. So that gives us 3, add the square root of a squared add 2, take away 2, so they cancel out, leaving us just with the square root of a squared, which is just going to go to a. So the left-hand side becomes 3 add a. The right-hand side is g of a, so it's 15 over a minus 3. It stays the same. So now when we've subbed in, we've got to this stage here. So I've now multiplied both sides by a minus 3 to get a add 3 times a minus 3 is 15. This is the difference of two squares here, so it goes to a squared minus 9 is 15. Finally, I've added 9 to both sides to get a squared is equal to 24, and then square rooted. So the square root of 24 is the same as the square root of 4 times 6, which is the same as 2 root 6. So A is 2 root 6. And we don't need to worry about the negative value because we know that the question tells us that x has to be greater than 2. So we're not going to be concerned about the negative value in this case. And that is our functions question. I hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next